Hey, what's up, everyone? It is time for another recruiting report with Otis Kirk. And Otis, we're going to start things off this week talking about Tyrus Washington, a tight end out
Yeah.
of Georgia. He's got an offer recently from Arkansas and apparently South Carolina, is what I read.
Yeah, he narrowed it down to some schools recently. Kansas State's in there. The biggest thing with him is he's going to take an official visit here on June the 4th through the 6th weekend. He is, teammates of Jaron Austin, or Jared Willis. I mean, this visiting that weekend from the same high school. They've offered three kids at that school, Willis and Sapp and
Hmm.
Washington, and then but Tyrus will be at Arkansas June the 4th through the 6th. He'll be at Cincinnati on June the 25th through the 27th. Kansas State, he's trying to get to in June. And in Central Florida with Coach Malzahn, he'll be there June the 11th through the 13th after he visits Arkansas. This is one of Coach Kennedy's top tight end targets, along with Dax Courtney, of course. And he's 6'4", 230, offers good size, can catch football, run, block. So he's a complete tight end. That's what they're looking for. And so
Yeah.
Tyrus is someone to keep an eye on as far as a commitment. And Arkansas did make the final six with him, and they're getting the first official visit. So it's good to be talking about official visits again.
I know.
Because we haven't even been able to talk much about unofficial visits lately. So it's really good to talk official visits again. And these kids, I know it's better for the coaches. Tara, it's better for the kids. It's better for the families. It's just better for everybody. If you see in person, you can do this on Zoom and stuff, and virtual visits and stuff.
Not
but
the same.
It's not, especially this is an important. These kids are making the most important decision of their life to this point. In most cases.
Yeah.
And and here's coaches are extending these offer these scholarships, that they're not cheap. And so, yeah,
Right.
it's just good that everybody's going to get to see it. I'll get off that soapbox, but it's just good that it's starting up again where people can actually get to meet each other in person. It's just different than virtual.
Yeah, it's much better
Right.
than the virtual stuff. But a guy that we don't typically talk about special teams a lot, but we've got Alex Picata, a punter for the 2022 class out of Georgia.
Yeah, Westminster High School down there in Atlanta. Number one punter in the country, number 7 kicker. Arkansas offered him this week. Virginia's offered him. He's a pretty good sized kicker, and he's got a leg. I mean, one thing I've noticed watching his video, and you can see why he's rated the number one punter because
Yeah.
he's got great hang time on his punts. I mean, he tries to get the ball up there and keeps it in the air for 5 seconds or so. I mean, great hang time on his punts, and so that goes with that to go with a strong leg to start with allows him to really look good. Arkansas, Virginia are two of the schools, and maybe he'll get more offers as it goes. But that's someone that Arkansas is certainly keeping an eye on and felt good enough about him or liked him well enough, whatever you want to say, to
Yeah.
offer him a scholarship.
Well, what about Trey Emery, a defensive lineman out of Texas, a 3-star? It looks like he's got Arkansas in his top 6 right now.
Yeah, he does. And, this is a kid that's fought some battles recently. He's been in the hospital. He had an incident at school where I don't know if it was a weightlifting deal or what, but he got where he couldn't even walk for a while.
Wow.
It was reminding me a little bit of the Raleigh Williams situation.
Yeah.
It was different, but it was still eerily similar. I mean, the fact that you're just scared for a kid that age, people that age to be going through that. It just doesn't seem fair, but he did. But he's getting better. He's doing much better. He's setting up some official visits, and right now he has Arizona, Oklahoma State, and Baylor in that order in June. And that leaves 2 spots for official visits. Arkansas may get one of those other 2. He's about 6'4", 300-pound defensive tackle. Was his district at Mount Pleasant, Texas, by the way, and was his district's outstanding defensive player as a junior. And this is a team that had a losing record. So for a kid be an underclassman playing on a team with a losing record, although I think it was like 4-6 or something, 4-5. It wasn't bad, but
Yeah.
But my point is, for a kid on a team that doesn't win the championship and be a junior to get player of the year, defensive player of the year, that shows you how good he was.
Pretty impressive. Yeah.
Hopefully he's able to play somewhere in college and have a good career. He's a great kid from a great family, Tara. I guess I've gotten to know the mother and Trey really well, and he's just a good kid, and you don't want to see. You don't want to see that you don't want to see those type of injuries with anyone,
Yeah.
but you sure someone that young. It just seems unfair.
No, I get you. It sounds like a type of guy though that Pittman would love to have on his team.
Oh yeah, it's a good family, good kid, good player. He's an interior. He could probably play defensive end, but I would think he's more of a defensive tackle in college. And Dave Campbell has him rated number 3 defensive tackle in Texas. So
wow.
Yeah, he is a 3-star, but he's got some services that really like him, and he's got if he's able to play up to his capabilities, and the team is a little bit better, don't be surprised if this kid ends up a 4-star.
Okay, well, we'll keep an eye out for him. And the last guy that we're going to talk about today is Braden Davis, quarterback out of Delaware, 4-star. What do you think about him?
Well, I like him. He's 6'5", 195. He played at Lake Minneola, Florida last year. And you know who else is from that school, Tara?
Who?
Mr. Deion Edwards. Deion Edwards is from that school, and he's back in Delaware now, though. And Braden he's a dual threat quarterback. He visited Arkansas. It's been a few weeks ago now on an unofficial visit, obviously. And he got hurt at Florida last year. He played 2.5. He got hurt in the 3rd game. I think he played like 2.5 games, but he didn't play after that because of an injury. But he moved back to Delaware, or went back to his high school in Delaware, Arkansas and Georgia Tech and Rutgers and and South Carolina schools are on him. One oddity there, or not an oddity, but one thing to keep in mind there, his dad was the number 8th pick in the 1991 NFL draft. Wow. Anton Davis played at the University of Tennessee, and that's what I was getting at with the odds kids. Right, his dad played at the University of Tennessee, was a All-American, number 8 pick in the draft by the Philadelphia Eagles, I believe it was, but in the 1991 draft. But Arkansas is trying to get him. He's a dual threat, and as I say, 6'5". He's someone that can pass and run, obviously, and do it well. ESPN has him 39th player. I was going to say 36, but it's 39th player in the top 300. So they've got the number 39 player in the nation. So, yeah, I mean, he like I said, he got hurt last year, and probably, I don't know if that hurt his recruiting or not. I mean, but he's the type kid. At the end of the day, he's got grades. He's going to be able to go where he wants to. And so, but Braden Davis is a name that may be moving up at Arkansas. There's been a couple of quarterbacks I thought they might get this kid or they might get that kid. But it looks like now Braden Davis could be definitely being a bit. And Arkansas offered one of his teammates this week, by the way, defensively. Another 2022 kid. I think, all the kids we talked about today are 2022.
Yeah.
Yeah. Arkansas offered his teammate a defensive end, and so that may be something to keep an eye on too there, see how that works out. So they don't recruit Delaware very often.
I was about to say.
They might try to double their pleasure this time, get 2 of them, so I'm sure, they would take those kids, and it'll be, it's just going to be interesting to see how this kid's recruiting plays out, because I got a feeling, even though He's took some unofficial visits. He's been out to Stanford and stuff, but it's going to be interesting who all comes in on him hard even more. And he's got 20-something offers, so it's not like schools haven't offered him. Yeah, he's number 39 player in the country. He's got a lot of options, but I've got to figure he's going to continue to get more. What happens is everybody wants one quarterback, just about.
Yeah.
Then when one commits that you wanted, then everybody goes to another. They move on to another one, and by the after a while, when 5 or 6 or 7 of the top ones commit, then everybody is like vultures. They're flying around, circling around, getting ready to pass on that one. And that's why I say quarterbacks are different, because some schools will take 2, but a lot of times the school just wants 1.
Right.
And last year with Lucas and Landon, but most of the time they take 1, and that's why I say quarterbacks, you never know when the recruiting's going to end, because if you don't get the one you target, the schools start moving on to the next one and next one and next. So yeah,
So we'll
but
wait and see when he narrows it down to what is like top 18 and then the top 6.
yeah, be like our guy, keep trying Jackson's
Yeah.
about 100 to a 50 to 25. Yeah,
Right.
no,
Love it. All right. Well, Otis, great insight as always. So much fun talking with you. Really appreciate your time.
okay, thanks a lot, Terry. Have
Bye.
a good week. Bye bye.